Welcome, welcome, welcome once again to Variety Talk Show with Josie Latimer. I'd like to say, first of all, happy Mother's Day to all of my subscribers, all of the people out there that are mothers, all of the people that are not mothers that have been in someone's life, but you didn't birth the child. So to me, you're still a mother because if you gave a child some input on life, on positive things about life and how to move on with their lives, you are to a mother. And I want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. Today, my topic is basically going to be about the 4 year old girl, Maleah Davis, who was allegedly killed by her stepfather, and also the A.J. Armstrong story. And I wanted to point out similarities in the story because there was so many twists and turns and so many different things of people not wanting to believe that their loved ones possibly could have committed these crimes. Now, Maleah Davis, 4 years old, I saw on one of the bloggers, I think it was Geneva's Closet, where she went on Facebook and she saw where the mother had written a long page saying that he didn't do it and that she was tired of everybody out here, all these people saying this and that about her ex-fiance. He didn't do it. People need to, stop saying that, and that he was a good father and that he helped her, raise her kids. So the similarities is that, like the A.J. Armstrong story, if you look at some of the stories, a lot of people believe he didn't do it, including, his loved ones as well. They believe he didn't do it, but everyone is innocent until proven guilty. However, the evidence can give you some insight on indeed if this person is possibly guilty or not. So to just come out and say he didn't do it because you care about somebody, each and every time, oftentimes people are very, very shocked and really can have a nervous breakdown when they find out that these main people that was around them, my mother used to always say, don't never let your left hand know what your right hand's doing, because sometimes the person that's under you are the ones that really, really can hurt you. I mean, I've had that happen to me in my family, people that I've helped and been there for, and they turn around and hurt you. So never let your guards down. So that similarity with the story with the Maleah Davis and the A.J. Armstrong story, it was just like the baby's mother didn't believe that her fiance could have possibly have committed a crime of killing her daughter. However, on the other hand, then she got with Quanell and she said of all the other things that he did. So I was wondering, why would you say you didn't believe it if the person had already did some stuff? Okay, so now, same thing in the A.J. Armstrong story. His people don't believe it. But then on the other hand, the mother had text messages where she was showing all of these things that the kid was doing wrong, so forth and so on, like not going to school to practice when he said he was, finding drugs in the house, lighting a match and trying to burn the carpet or something and put it on the sister, going over to the girlfriend's house saying, yes, her parents were home when indeed they wasn't. Just a lot of different text messages that proved that the kid was not being, really like a kid should be to honor their parents that's spending money on them. So then, even after all that, they're gone, they're dead, and the people that are left behind, knowing this kid situation from him and the parents, what was going on from the text messages. It's not me. I'm only going by what I see on the news and what the evidence have proven. So I don't want anybody to get angry at me because everyone's innocent until proven guilty. But I'm just saying that people or end up being in shock, like that baby's mother. Then she gets with Quanell and she realizes that he possibly did do it. And the camera, it's always going to be, especially when you mess with a baby, God is always going to let it come out. That camera from a neighbor's house showed him coming out with, it wasn't clothes in the basket. No, it wasn't clothes. It was a garbage bag and possibly that baby's body, because they charged him with tampering of a corpse. That's what they charged him with. And they've given him $1 million bond. He has to put up for $1 million bond. And so what I'm saying, she didn't believe it. She said all of this stuff on Facebook about him, all of this good stuff, because that's all the stuff he fooled her with. But on the other hand, I don't know if he fooled her or not, because she later said all this other stuff he did by bruises on the child, bathing the child. So I was confused on that situation. But what I'm saying, sometimes people can be in denial because of loved ones. You could be with a person 20, 30, 40 years and you not know their hidden little secrets. That's happened to me before. You can be with people that are just so loving and kind, and you never know what's going on behind their minds. So let's stop taking up for people that the evidence is showing that it possibly could be them, and not just come out and say, oh no, that person didn't do that. Well, how do we know they didn't do it? How do we know they didn't do it? And as I said, they are innocent until proven guilty. But how do we know that they didn't do it? So don't let the heart get in the way of what actually happens to the people that are killed. They're not here to defend themselves. They're not here to defend themselves. And oftentimes people forget about them when they're gone. But if you look at the picture of the beautiful parents of A.J. Armstrong Jr., who did all they could for their child, and they're not here anymore. And it was an inside job from the evidence, not from me. Not from me. I didn't kill them. I'm only going by what talk and what the majority of the people say. It's not just me. It's not just me. So I'm not trying to point the finger at anyone. I'm only pointing the finger to the evidence that I see. So I'm just going by evidence. And like I said, for people to just say no, that A.J. Armstrong story, it was an inside job with an inside weapon that belonged to that family. That weapon was a family weapon, his father's gun, to protect his family. And guess what happens? That gun killed his father, his own gun. He was killed with his own gun within his own house. It wasn't like someone came into the house with a weapon. If there was someone coming from the outside, you would think that they would come in with their own weapon, wouldn't you? I'm just saying, wouldn't you? And on the Maleah Davis story, he wouldn't be walking out with a garbage bag in a clothes basket unless it was a body in there. It was allegedly that baby's body, because they later found the basket in the car. Evidence: they found blood in the property. A.J. Armstrong, they found the lead in his t-shirt. Lead from that gun. So evidence is what people can go on and not just say, oh no, I know they didn't do it. You can never say that. You can never say someone didn't commit a crime when the evidence is pointing towards them and they still are innocent until proven guilty. So what I wanted to say is, let's continue to pray for them to find Maleah Davis. And I hope the stepfather will tell them where the body is. Hopefully there is no body. Hopefully she's still alive somewhere. But from all the way it looks, The way it looks, as I said in other videos, I knew that it possibly had happened in that home. And guess what? The cops said the same thing because they saw blood evidence that belonged to the baby. So this is Mother's Day, and the mother, I wonder how she feels because she didn't protect that baby. And it happened right before Mother's Day. Aaliyah is an angel in heaven. And Maleah. Maleah is an angel in heaven, and she just didn't get a chance to live. But she's still living in heaven. And AJ's parents, it's Mother's Day for his mother. And may her soul rest in peace. I must say that. So don't get angry at me for those people that just want to think that people out here are just pointing a finger at someone. That's not the case. This is just a freedom of speech, and people are online and they're getting stories like me, and I'm just going by the evidence. I'm not pointing the finger at anybody. I'm only going by the evidence. Now, if the evidence points the finger, that's the evidence, not me. So with that, everybody, I want to say happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. And you just teach your kids and your daughters how to be very careful with men. That's what they said in church today. The preacher, it was a lady preacher today, and she was preaching about mothers. Teach your sons how to be men, and mothers, teach your daughters how to protect their children when it comes to relationships, men, and just in general. So please click like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to end my Mother's Day show. And we'll keep praying for Maleah Davis, the baby 4-year-old daughter, girl that was allegedly killed by her stepfather. And we will, the AJ Armstrong story, we will keep up with that and pray that his mother and father, the lovely couple, no matter what they did in their lives, everyone has done wrong in their lives. But that does not mean that justice will not be served for them. They deserve justice. It doesn't matter what they did. Everybody did wrong, but they wanted the best for their children, and they showed it. They tried. They had them in the best schools and everything. So let's not forget about them. Just look at their picture and see their glowing faces, and just think about them. And people forget. When trials and stuff go on, people forget that these beautiful people are not here, and these killers are. The murderers are here, and the dead people that they killed are gone. So let's put things in the right perspective and let justice be served in both of these situations, and not say, oh, he didn't do that. Oh, he didn't do that, like that mother did. And then she came back later and saw that he possibly did it. So let's just keep things open and let the law handle it, and just try to pray for justice. Thank you so much for tuning in to Variety Talk Show with Josie Latimer. Have a happy Mother's Day. Click subscribe and like and share. Thank you. Bye.